Alright, hey, what's going on everyone? My name is Osman and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be looking at the trailer for Five Nights at Freddy's 3 that came out a few days ago, and we're going to be taking a closer look at it, analysing it, and seeing if we can find anything new for the game based on what's in the trailer. So yeah, enjoy. Before I begin, I just want to specify that I do believe in the popular theory that Five Nights at Freddy's 2 takes place before Five Nights at Freddy's in the timeline, so I'm going to be basing all my speculation off that and assuming that to be true. Okay, so let's start off with a quick rundown of the trailer. First we get a panning shot of the hallway with some wires hanging from the ceiling and some posters on the walls. This may not seem important, but it actually contains a crucial piece of information. If you look closely at the posters, you'll notice that there are toy versions of the animatronics on the wall. And right here we can clearly see that these drawings are the toy versions of Bonnie and Chica. Why is this important? Well, if we look at the timeline, we have two games, Five Nights at Freddy's 2 and Five Nights at Freddy's 1. Because we don't know for certain whether this game will be a sequel or not, it can only have three possible places on the timeline. Before 2, in between 2 and 1, or after 1. But wait, how could this game have artwork from the animatronics introduced in the location in Five Nights at Freddy's 2 if it's possible that the game came before? It's simple, it can't. This means that the game can only take place in between 2 and 1 or after 1, so we already have a 50-50 guess of where it's going to be. Also, notice right here's a drawing of the marionette, meaning it's still going to be relevant in the overall story. Which makes sense considering the important role it had in Five Nights at Freddy's 2. So this is more of a side note, but could these wires have anything to do with the mangle? It's a bit of a stretch, but you know. Moving on, we get the message, he will come back. Oh, okay, Freddy, right? And then there's the arcade machine, which means it's likely that the death screen minigames from Five Nights at Freddy's 2 are going to be returning, which is good. Another message, he always does. Yep, Freddy will do that. Now we see Bonnie, Freddy, and Chica in their original forms. Funnily enough, these are the only recognizable animatronics that we actually see in the trailer. Where's Foxy at? Can a brother get some recognition? No? Word. And here's the final message, we have a place for him. But wait, what? Why wouldn't you have a space for Freddy? It's his restaurant, he's the main guy. Unless this is actually leading into a new animatronic that we haven't seen before. Cue this guy, whoever this guy is. New challenger incoming, people. This guy sitting here freaking out. There's a couple things to note about him. He's yellow, his snout sticks out, and he has long ears. My first thought was animatronic combination. It makes sense because the only other animatronics we see in the trailer are Freddy, Chica, and Bonnie. Freddy has a snout that sticks out, Chica is yellow, and Bonnie has long ears. So we're dealing with some kind of Omnimon animatron, right? Well, maybe, but we can't forget that Bonnie's snout sticks out as well. In fact, this animatronic looks very similar to Bonnie. You could easily mistake the two if it weren't for the color. Bonnie is purple, and this guy is yellowy gold. And it wouldn't be the first time an animatronic was given a gold counterpart. I mean, you know, do you see what I'm going for yet? That's right, this animatronic could potentially be a golden version of Bonnie, much like, you know, with Golden Freddy and that. The only difference is that Golden Freddy has black eyes, while this guy has hyper-realistic eyes. The trailer even zooms in on his eyes, so his eyes are obviously important. If you compare them to Bonnie's eyes that we seen earlier, this guy's eyes are very lifelike, whereas Bonnie's are sort of cartoony and shiny and obviously fake. It's much more obvious that the eyes in the original animatronics are fake, whereas the new guy looks like it could actually be a real human eye. Here in the final scene, we see our new friend running towards the player, but let's slow down a bit. First of all, we see the fans back. Hey fan, I'm a fan of you. We also see a window. My guess is that we'll see animatronics through the window similar to in Five Nights at Freddy's 1, but this is different because the window is much wider, and I'll come back to that in a second, but for now, let's focus on the most important thing, the fact that this new animatronic is moving at us while we're looking at it. Don't get me wrong, we've seen animatronics move while we're looking at them before, but normally not until it's too late or when they think that no one sees them, or because they're Foxy and Foxy don't give a damn. This is why I think that this new game could feature moving animatronics, or at least this new guy moving anyway. This is why the window being wider is important. There's enough space for the player to see the animatronic running by the window and be like, "Foo!" before, you know, they try to scramble to close the door in time. And again, we see these realistic eyes. If we were to decide that these were human eyes, then where would they have come from? We know that the bite of 87 and the missing children happens at the end of Five Nights at Freddy's 2. So could these be the eyes of one of those children? It wouldn't explain why the other eyes didn't look the same. Bonnie's eyes was clearly more cartoony and probably had been replaced in between that time, whereas these guys' eyes look very fresh and, you know, recently decomposed, if you get what I'm saying. Well, this must have happened somewhat recently. So whose death do we know takes place sometime around here on the timeline? The only one is Phone Guy. This would make the message from before make sense as well. The Phone Guy is coming back because he always does. Well, he worked at both the restaurants, that makes sense. And they have space for him, which would also make sense because he would be returning as an animatronic and not a security guard. He'd need a new place for his new position as a Fazbear animatronic. If we assume this to be true, we can also narrow it down to the game taking place here after 1, because Phone Guy doesn't die until the end of 1. So yeah, this is what I picked up from the trailer and from looking around on other forums to see what other people thought. If you have any ideas or theories of your own, I'd love to hear them in the comments below, and if you liked the video, then hit subscribe for more. Besides that, thanks for watching, and I will see you all next time. Bye.